What's good, people? It's your boy Chef from Off the Dome, back in with another video. Today's your Wednesday wrap-up. And on the Wednesday wrap-up, we always come with 3 stories. We're talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine, the possible witness protection program, if it will work or not. We're going to be talking about Young Thug's album, like actually staying in the top 10, in the top 5, matter of fact, for over a month. This is his 7th week on the chart, I believe, and he's only at number 4. What is Young Thug's, secret? Why is he so successful all of a sudden? And then finally, we're going to end the Wednesday wrap-up with the climate change stuff with that Greta lady and just see how all that goes. Tekashi 6ix9ine, first topic. We know everybody's talking him to death. We know this is what people want to talk about. They want to talk about Tekashi. They want to see what he's going to do next. They want to see if all these testimonies are going to pay off and he's actually going to get out of prison. They want to see if he will still be able to live a successful life after prison. A lot of things he said in the trial surprised me. I didn't know that the label, or his gang and his label, I thought he signed through 10,000 projects and then he had to deal with Universal, because some of the stuff with his certifications on RA, Platinum, and Gold certified things say Interscope, and some of them say 10,000 projects, and some of them say Scum Gang. None of them say Treyway. So I was trying to figure out who is he actually signed to, and who's still making the money from this, because what Joe Budden said in his podcast is true. Somebody's still going to be collecting a check from Tekashi 6ix9ine's music when he's in jail, even if he goes to a witness protection program. Right now, while he's in jail, somebody's collecting that money, and it's not him or the gang. It's 10,000 projects. I don't know who's distributing them. I believe it's Caroline. I don't think it's Empire. I think it's Caroline. So I think Caroline is the distribution. Well, then Universal owns that. So I guess that answers my own question. But overall, the witness protection program, will it work for Tekashi? It can. There's a lot of Hispanic dudes out there that looks like him. He will literally have to get a haircut, probably. Face tattoos off, of course. Probably tan his skin. They're going to do all types of crap to make him. I think the ultimate way to do witness protection for him, not even put him in a remote state like Wyoming or Iowa. That's number 2. I think the other solution may be just to put him on an island. Literally take this nigga to Hawaii. Put him in Alaska. But Iowa and Montana is the second option. The only reason I said that's not my first option is because I think he would still stick out due to the population of the lack of Hispanics there. But Tekashi does pass for white, in my opinion. I think he's like an off-brand white dude, so he could pass up there. And all right, let's see. Also, we're gonna talk about Young Thug. So Young Thug, so much fun. The album probably is about to go gold. It's probably going gold soon, and it deserves it. It's number 4. Out of all the albums that he's dropped in his course of career since 2013, commercial mixtapes and all that stuff, this studio album right here shows Young Thug's reach. Why is Young Thug still in the top 5 in Billboard 200? Why is the album not filling out the top 10 yet? Why does he still have singles on the chart? That's because Young Thug has finally been marketed the correct way. All Young Thug ever needed was more exposure. He already had exposure with Lifestyle and Stoner and Hookah and About the Money with T.I. That was his peak in 2014, his first peak. But you gotta notice, having no one hit single does more than what you think. Even with your one-hit wonders, Carly Rae Jepsen, Gaultier, then we have people in a later vein. No one singles do a lot for you. So by him being featured on that, him already being a recognizable name, it's a good thing. A Grammy nomination, award shows, Camila Cabello name dropping you sometimes saying it was a great song. Shout out to Young Thug, shout out to the writers. It gives you exposure because she has that Fifth Harmony fan base, and she has the people that subscribe to her teen pop type singing songwriter stuff. They like Young Thug. Ain't that the dude that's saying Lifestyle? Or who is Young Thug? So people look you up. So, and this same thing with DaBaby, Suge. Then you have Cashier with Megan Thee Stallion. Now he has a bigger female fan base. On top of that, he's also featured on the Truth Hurts remix, which is the #1 single right now. He's featured on Post Malone's album. And he has another song I will Offset, The Babysitter, right now. So the dude obviously has a lot going for him. And the more you have going for yourself, the better your album sales go, the better your name recognition touring goes. And his album, Kirk, will probably drop, before the year ends for sure. So with the album dropping, you can expect him to at least sell 100K. I think DaBaby will do 110K or better, because obviously the exposure the dude's had over the last couple of months is amazing. I've never seen anything like it. So when we talk about exposure, you have Young Thug, a dude that just did 120K plus units, I believe, for an album drop. You have a #1 single. You're featuring on Post Malone's Goodbyes. You have The London, which is a song that popped off with one of J. Cole's best features of the year, and Travis Scott, a big superstar. You're also known as the guy that brought Gunna and Lil Baby to the forefront, so a lot of people give you credit for that. You also had a project with Future 2 years ago, which did decently. So you have all these exposures. 2017 was the year that Young Thug started this Exposure World Tour. And it's the best thing he could have done for himself. And I'm so glad that he's still in the top 10, because it shows that you can peak early, but you can regain your position later on in your career. Something what Tyga kind of did, but he didn't capitalize on it, because Legendary, the album is now pretty much off the charts. They say it's a gold certified album because of Taste is a single, but you know, traditional album sale units, it didn't do so hot. But you have a guy like a guy like Young Thug, who's done all these things, and now it's culminated to him being one of the biggest superstars in the game. To think about this, Chance the Rapper's album is no longer in the top 40 on the Billboard 200. You have a lot of people who aren't there anymore who are so-called hotter artists than Young Thug. And you wonder why. It's because of the marketing strategy his team has had and himself has had. So it's a good thing to see them pretty much, execute and carry this out. And I'm glad to see this come from the team. And last, we talk about the climate change with the I don't remember her name, guys. I'm sorry. I even looked at the name before I started this, but I know it's Greta and it's something else. Thornburg. The wild thornberries. But anyway, climate change. I'm not an expert on all this stuff. You have conservatives and some people that don't believe in climate change are on the right or the left side, and some Democrats and a tiny minority of conservatives and libertarians who believe climate change is real. I think climate change is real, but it's not going to affect us as much as people think it is. You talk about wildfires in California happen every year. You talk about wildfires in the Amazon. You talk about, I live in a place like Virginia where you can't even tell what season it is. Like, in the middle of December, it'll snow for a week, but then after the week of snow, it'll be 2 weeks of 60, like high 50s and 60-degree weather. You're talking about a state that's cold until the middle of April, but then once May hit, we just skip spring, goes all the way to 95 degrees. You're talking about a state where right now it's October, and a lot of people on the upper side of the East Coast and even are having 70 or 60-degree temperatures. We're still at 9 degrees, and it's almost October. So I understand what people are saying. It's a confusing seasonal time. It's a confusion with the weather or whatnot. But I agree with a lot of the people are saying that us as people can't particularly stop this. It's already in effect, and the earth is going to do what it does. And if we talk about sanctions on factories and whatnot, you continue to do that. But there are numbers that show that even in the 1800s, there were certain problems with the world. And they didn't have any industrial tools or mechanisms. So it's kind of hard to call out one person when you should call out everybody. So the U.S. shouldn't have to give up everything if China and Russia and England and the rest of these places aren't going to give up their stuff. But I do believe climate change is a problem. Like, it's something that affects us, but I don't think it's going to affect us to the extent that a lot of your politicians are talking about. And it is another way for them to get into your pocket, because, they love getting inside your pocket. They love taxing you for everything. Climate change tax, a pollution tax. Why would we have to pay these taxes if we're not the corporations? I don't understand how we would pay these taxes, but they're saying we should. So, overall, that's what I think. This is the Wednesday wrap-up. Hashtag WWU. Comment in the comment section. Share the hashtag. Let's get the show out there. Peace.